A 6-year-old beauty queen found murdered in her own home. A ransom note demanding $118,000. A crime scene filled with contradictions. More than 25 years later, the case of JonBenét Ramsey remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Was it an intruder, or did someone inside the house commit the crime? And why, after decades of investigation, does this case still have more questions than answers? Could the truth have been hidden in plain sight all along? In today's deep dive, we unravel every aspect of the case, from the shocking crime scene details to the most controversial theories. But be warned, this case is as frustrating as it is chilling, and the truth may never be fully uncovered. On Christmas morning in 1996, the Ramsey family of Boulder, Colorado, woke up to what should have been a joyful holiday. But by the next day, their world had shattered. Their youngest daughter, JonBenét, was found murdered in the basement of their home. A case that began as a kidnapping quickly turned into one of the most infamous homicide investigations in modern history. The case drew national attention, sparking endless speculation, media frenzy, and a never-ending debate about who was responsible. How could such a horrific crime take place inside a home that should have been a place of safety? How did the police investigation go so wrong in its earliest hours? And why, after all these years, has no one been held accountable? The investigation was plagued by missteps from the start, with crucial evidence possibly being contaminated and key mistakes made by law enforcement. Theories have ranged from a botched burglary to an intentional cover-up. Today, we're diving into the chilling details of this case, the evidence, the theories, and the mysteries that still haunt investigators. Could new developments finally reveal the truth? Or will this case remain an unsolved enigma, locked away in the past? To understand what happened that fateful night, we need to go back to where it all began. JonBenét Ramsey was a 6-year-old girl known for her beauty pageant victories. She lived with her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, and her older brother Burke in an upscale Boulder neighborhood. The Ramsey family appeared picture perfect, wealthy, well-connected, and respected in their community. John was a successful businessman, and Patsy, a former beauty queen, took great pride in JonBenét's participation in pageants. On the morning of December 26, 1996, Patsy made a frantic 911 call, reporting that her daughter had been kidnapped. She claimed to have found a ransom note demanding $118,000 for JonBenét's return. The note, bizarrely lengthy and detailed, was written on stationery from inside the Ramsey home. The exact ransom amount was eerily similar to John Ramsey's recent work bonus. The question remains, was this a coincidence or a sign that someone close to the family was involved? While police initially treated the case as a kidnapping, the horror escalated when, just hours later, JonBenét was found in the basement, lifeless, strangled, with duct tape over her mouth and her hands bound. There were clear signs of a struggle, but no evidence of forced entry into the home. Who had the opportunity to commit such a crime in a house full of people? Was this truly the work of an outside intruder? Or was something more sinister at play within the Ramsey household? As investigators tried to untangle the events of that night, the case only grew more convoluted. The timeline of events and the behavior of those involved would become one of the biggest points of contention in the case. From the beginning, the investigation into JonBenét's murder was filled with missteps. The Boulder police initially treated the case as a kidnapping, failing to properly secure the crime scene. Friends and family moved freely throughout the house, potentially contaminating evidence. The lack of immediate control over the scene made it difficult to gather clear forensic proof. When JonBenét's body was finally discovered by her father, John Ramsey, he picked her up and carried her upstairs, further disrupting the scene. This act, though possibly out of grief, complicated the forensic analysis. The basement, where she was found, showed signs of disturbance, but it was unclear whether they pointed to an intruder or staged elements meant to mislead investigators. Then, there was the ransom note. Experts found it highly unusual, too long, written in the home, and demanding the exact amount of John Ramsey's work bonus. The handwriting was extensively analyzed. John was ruled out, but Patsy's results were inconclusive. Some experts claimed her writing style was a match, while others disagreed. As the investigation continued, authorities faced conflicting testimonies, mysterious DNA evidence, and a media circus that often overshadowed real investigative work. Investigators faced mounting pressure from the media and the public, with suspicions shifting from an intruder to the family. But without concrete evidence, no arrests were made. Over the years, law enforcement struggled to piece together the puzzle, often clashing with private investigators hired by the Ramsey family. Was this case doomed from the start due to poor police work? Or were there deeper forces at play keeping the truth buried? Over the years, theories about JonBenét's murder have been divided into two main categories: the intruder theory and the family theory. Supporters of the intruder theory point to a broken basement window, an unidentified DNA sample found on JonBenét's clothing, and a mysterious boot print near her body. Some believe a pedophile or home invader took advantage of the holiday chaos and attacked her. The possibility of an unknown suspect lurking in the affluent neighborhood, waiting for the right moment, has fueled speculation for decades. On the other hand, the family theory suggests that someone inside the home was responsible. Some speculate that an accident occurred, possibly involving her brother Burke, and was covered up by her parents. Others believe Patsy, in a moment of anger or stress, could have been involved. Proponents of this theory argue that the ransom note was a hasty attempt to divert attention. However, without definitive proof, these remain just theories. Could there be missing pieces to this puzzle that investigators overlooked? One of the most puzzling pieces of evidence in this case is the DNA found on JonBenét's clothing. Though it didn't match any family members, it also didn't match any known suspects, leaving investigators at a dead end. Then there's the ransom note, filled with strange phrasing and excessive detail, leading some to believe it was staged. A handwriting expert suggested it was written by a woman, adding to suspicions about Patsy. The autopsy revealed signs of strangulation and a skull fracture, raising the question, was she killed in a panic after a head injury, or was it a premeditated crime? And why were there pineapple fragments in her stomach when her parents claimed she was asleep before they put her to bed? Could this detail indicate a moment of conflict before the crime occurred? JonBenét Ramsey's murder is one of the most debated true crime cases of all time. Was it an outside intruder, or did something tragic happen inside the Ramsey home? What do you think? Let us know your theories in the comments below. If you found this deep dive intriguing, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more true crime mysteries. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep searching for the truth.